Alright, hello everybody, welcome to another video here. Today I'm going to talk about the most important things to accompany a singer. And I think I know the most important thing in order to accompany a singer. It is to find a singer to accompany. It's not a very simple concept, right? Because the reason why I'm saying this is because I can tell that a lot of people practice the fundamentals, the skills that you have to have in order to accompany a singer. But then you don't have a singer to accompany, then what do you do? So that's number one. Find a singer to accompany, whether in your place, just hang out and practice, or gigs, getting paid and getting rich. So, but now this is more on the philosophical side. Now on the more practical side of actually guitar playing, yes, there are a couple of things that you have to do in order to accompany a singer. And start with setting up the tune, right? Introductions. So I'm thinking of Fly Me to the Moon here. I think it's a good example. Lots of singers play that, male and female, and everybody. And so how can you set up the tune? The first thing for a tune like Fly Me to the Moon, the first thing that comes to my mind is to just play the final 8 bars of the tune. So if you're playing the key of C major or A minor, it's like okay, so let's do it again, the last 8 bars. And then you start. Okay, so is that the only way to set up a tune, to play the final 8 bars? No. There are endless ways, but this is pretty safe. One thing you can do that's also very common is to find something to vamp on. So on this one, you could do... see, the important thing is to give the singer a sense of their first note, right? You know, if you play something like that, if the singer is a little... See, sometimes we play with all sorts of singers. So if they are singers who like music, who listen to music, it's not always the case. But if you play something like that, if they're gonna sing Fly Me to, they're probably gonna get a sense of where to start. I would hope. Maybe I'm wrong. We just played that vamp. I'm playing just a minor 2-5-1 in the key of A minor. See, if I was able to pick up the key, then a professional singer should. That's cool. So you can play, I said, the final 8 bars. To set it up, you can play a vamp. And that was not the only vamp. That was just, there are other ways. Then you can also go a little bit bananas. You can play, I think of people who do crazy, fantastic introductions. Keith Jarrett, to me, is the first that comes to mind. I can't think of examples of Keith Jarrett accompanying a singer, but he's a singer. But he does. I think of his album Live at the Blue Note, which I think has some of the best introductions I ever heard. I'm thinking of Days of Wine and Roses. What he does, he's kind of take a snippet of the melody and he goes. I don't know where he goes. I wish I knew, but I don't know. But he keeps transposing like a fragment of the melody, you know, like. See, here I'm still playing the changes, but he goes out of the changes. He plays different changes. Let me just transpose the first interval. Alright, so remember the purpose here was to be bananas, to go out. So yeah, that's another way. Then you have this. I would not recommend doing something like that, like playing a completely out introduction for a singer that you're playing with them for the first time. Probably not a good idea. Do that with people that you're comfortable with. That would make more sense. So yeah, better to stick like playing the final 8 bars of the tune, or finding a vamp that has a melody note. Would be probably the way to go when you're not so familiar with the vocalist. Now, another thing that I'm already kind of doing here. Okay, so you set up the tune, you started. Whether you're playing duo or with a big band or with a Philharmonic orchestra, doesn't matter. One thing the technical thing you can do is to just play shell voices throughout the whole thing. What are shell voices? Shell voices are voices with only 3 notes. 3 basic important notes that outline the chord very well, which is the root, the third, and the 7. So root, third, 7, or root, 7, third. That's it. Then you play them throughout the tune, and it sounds great. If you hear like a player, if I think of a guitar and vocalist duo, to me, Joe Pass and Ella Fitzgerald, it's the best example on earth. And Joe Pass, he knows, if you hear him playing solo guitar, he has a ridiculous vocabulary of chords. You know, he can play crazy stuff. But when he's comping for Ella Fitzgerald, if you check out, he plays, for a lot of the time, he just plays that. Root, third, 7. See, I'm playing some bass line movements as well, which you get it. I mean, just connecting the chords. So let me play the whole tune here now. Let me see with the shell voicing. Starting with the simple introduction number 1 on your PDF that I'm not going to send you. I'll play the final 8 bars, and then I'm going to start and playing 1 chorus or maybe 2 choruses, playing only shell voices. So let's see what happens. A little slower than I even played. Second ending. So you can do the shell voices in different regions. So that's it. 1 chorus of Fly Me to the Moon, just shell voice. It's just getting longer. It's probably around 9 minutes. But let's keep going because there's too many things to talk about. We're already here, so let's just keep rolling. Shell voicings, fantastic. A few bass strings, just connecting to the root of the chord. So first, you gotta know the changes, right? So make sure you learn. It's 32 bars. It's a very simple structure for that song particularly. So make sure you know. And I mean, there's no, for example, sometimes they're ambiguous. Sometimes the chord could be one thing, it could be another thing. Everything is pretty standard. Like it wouldn't hurt to play like so many versions. Here, there could be an A7 preparing to the D, or not. Without, now with. A7. I guess the melody probably wants to go hit the top note here. Now, here, you could resolve here, or you could do another word. You know, 2, 5, 1, or 2, 5, 3, 6. So this, you just have, it's important to really listen to as many versions of the song as you can. Why? Because then you're gonna have in your mind, you don't have to be counting like, okay, here's a C major 7, here's followed by an F7 followed to a B quarter diminished. No, you just have, if you listen to the song a lot, you're gonna have a sense of the vibe, you know, of what's the color of the sound that's happening. So that's a sound, or same function, you know, that this happens a lot. And yeah, so shell voicings, I guess let's do just one more. I talked about the introduction, that you can do 3 different approaches. The first one, playing the final 8 bars. Second approach, finding a vamp that has the melody note. And the third one is you just going all to the walls and yeah, making something crazy and just listening to your heart and seeing what happens. So, which I recommend when you play with people who you know, who can't stand you. If you play with people who you never played with, and then you start, oh yeah, I'm gonna set up a tune, and you go all the way to another planet, they might never hire you again, which may be a good thing. So I was gonna do one more approach. Yeah, just fuller voices now. How about like just shell, maybe 4-note voices. So which may, instead of like when you play, as I said, Joe Pass plays a lot of that thing, of the shell voicing thing when it's comping for Ella Fitzgerald. But if you add just the shell voicing plus 1 note, that already adds a lot of color to the chord, right? Shell. Here's a 5-note voicing. Now let's get to it a little bit, just exploring the final approach here is just exploring the colors of the extensions of the chords. So let's use the simple introduction method first. I was confusing with another song. Oh yeah, this is Almost Like Falling in Love. Almost like falling, almost like falling, almost like falling. See, that's another thing. So you can mix up also songs that are similar. You know, take one thing that happens in one tune and do it in another tune. If you do it, if you know what you're doing, it's probably even better. Fly Me to the Moon, using extensions now. A little slower. I think this goes major. All right, enough is enough. Hope that helps. If not, then you can ask questions. This is going to be on Patreon, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, TikTok. I'm just kidding, exaggerating. It's not going to be. It's going to be on the important channels later.